So I'm sitting here about to put this T90 on this Spicer 18 transfer case. I rebuilt this last year, almost a year ago now. And, I put the Novak shaft in, which is a great piece. I put this Novak pan on, which I'm not too crazy about. You can see that the clearance here, well, there wasn't any. They provided this bolt. It's Allen head. I had to round it off, and I ground that out to get the tool in there. And even with all of that clearancing that I did, it's super tight to get that in and out. Like, to the point that I don't know that I can get it out without removing the pan. I got their gasket too, and I guess it's sealing up pretty good. But the main thing I don't like about it is it's so deep that there's no clearance here for the parking brake lever. I mean, my finger's just pinched right there. So whenever I hooked everything up, and no matter how I adjust it, when I pull the cable on the dash of this old Jeep, this lever hits the pan. And even though I'll have it adjusted to where, sure, I can pull it and it'll apply the brake, or if I loosen it, basically it hits the pan before that cable detent locks at the very first notch. So it has no parking brake unless you set it up so tight and hold the parking brake. That's the only way you get any brake out of it. So I'm actually contemplating going back to the stock pan, because realistically, I mean, how many more ounces is this pan going to provide of fluid, and what's that going to fix? I don't know if I have a gasket for the pan. I probably do, but it's much, much lower profile, which for a parking brake you need. And a parking brake comes in handy. I've been driving around with a rhododendron log in the back of this Jeep to throw behind a wheel, and that's really only so good. If you're on any type of steep incline, you can't really trust that log. The tire can just roll over the log. I don't know how much you really want to trust a parking brake either, but a good functioning parking brake I would trust better than whatever 6-inch round log with a bend in it. So anyway, that's my feedback on the Novak Spicer 18 transfer case pan. Not too crazy about it. Now, if you were to do something like Brennan rear disc brakes with the electronic parking brake, which I didn't even know existed whenever I converted this thing, so I don't have those. But if you were to do those, then you don't even need this parking brake at all. You could just leave the lever off, leave the shoes out, and you really just need this. I don't even know if you would need it, but I assume you would need this to space that out, but you might not even need the drum. Since I don't have any of that, and I do have all of this, I would like to have this functioning, so I think I'm going to go ahead and just pop this thing off. And then I'm going to have to figure out, the hardware and stuff, because I don't know where all that other hardware went. Looks like they're all blind holes, which is handy. But anyway, that's kind of my opinion on the Novak pan. If you're going to do Brennan electronic parking brakes, then yeah, this is definitely a much better piece. If you want to use the factory drum, I haven't figured out a way to make this work. I even thought about trying to space this lever down to clear the pan better, but the stud is only right there, so I would have to engineer something that threaded on there, Loctited on, and then bolt this on, and this thing would hang down low enough to where it might become something that scrapes, because it's right in the middle there So something that scrapes and bends and does who knows what. All right, so that's that.